Hey, chemistry students, I really miss having you in class every day. But today I want to kind of help you to see how to do the activity that you've been assigned. Today we're going to begin with part of this activity. So this is the first page and it's pretty straightforward. So I'd like you to complete it, pause this video, and then when you're done with that page, then you can move on. This page takes a little more thought to understand, but hopefully you can get through this page as well. And as soon as you're finished, go ahead and pause as you're completing it, and as soon as you're finished, you can restart the video. This is the page that is probably the most confusing, so I want to help step you through this. You'll notice that this is page 3, but the directions are given to you on page 4. It says in step 9 on page 4, obtain a set of starting conditions from the instructor. Enter the initial moles of A and B in Model 2, as well as the percent of A that react each minute, and the percent of B that react each minute, and complete the calculations. After you're finished with this, you're going to answer the questions that are on page 4. But one of the things that it says somewhere further down the line that I don't want you, here it is in part 10 on page 4. Round your answers to the nearest hundredths of a mole. So we're going to do 2 numbers after the decimal place. And what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to give the numbers. As it said, the instructor will give you the numbers. And what we're going to do is our initial amount of A is going to be 10.00 moles. And our initial amount of B is going to be 0.00 moles. And every minute, A is going to, 60% of the A will be used up. So we're going to put a 60% over here. And 20% of the B is going to react in the opposite direction. So you have an equilibrium reaction going on where some of your A is turning to B, but at the same time, some of the B is also turning back to A. So I'm going to step you through the first couple steps of this to make sure you understand. So if we have 60% of 10 moles going forward, that would be 0.6 times 10, which is going to be minus 6.00 moles. So 6.00 moles of A turned into B, and that's why you see this arrow here. So that same number is going to go from the left side because it's a negative A, but it is turning into a positive B. So we now have 6.00 moles of B. On our reverse direction, we started with 0 moles of B, so there was none of that to turn into A. So this minus here is going to be 0 moles. And over here, this is also going to be 0 moles. And tell you what, I'm going to write moles up on the top of each one, and that way we don't have to rewrite it every time. We'll know that these numbers are representing moles. So 10 minus 6, at the end of 1 minute, we're going to have 4 moles of A, but 0 plus 6 is going to be 6 moles of B. All right, now let's consider the 4 moles of A and the 6 moles of B as our next starting position for the next minute. So 60% of 4 moles is going to change forward. So 0.60 times 4 is 2.0. So we're going to lose 2.0 moles of A, and that is going to turn into 2.4 moles of B. Now we have to consider the B. We now have 6 moles of B at the start of this minute. So 6.00 times 0.2% is going to be minus 1.20 moles of B. Because you had some B to start with now, some of it is turning back to A. So that B, you see this arrow right here, that B has now turned into A. So to find the end, we are going to take our initial 4 moles of A at this minute, subtract 2.40 moles of A, and then add 1.20 moles of A to get a net amount of A after 2 minutes of 2.80 moles. Now to get our net amount of B, we started at this particular minute with 6 moles. We added 2.4 more moles, but we lost 1.20 moles. So 6 minus 2.4, I'm sorry, plus 2.4 minus 1.2 is 7.20 moles of B. Now you're going to continue that over and over and over until there's not a change in the end concentration anymore. Your A is not going to equal B, but your A eventually is going to equalize out and it's not going to change, and your B also is going to equalize out and it's not going to change. I'm going to let you finish this, pause it, and then when you're done, you can continue the video. If you did everything correctly, you should have the numbers that I have above. Once you get to this point, every single one of these are going to just repeat over and over and over. There's not going to be any change. So the number from the point at 5 minutes on, that number ends up being the same amount of A and the same amount of B, even though you have the particles that are reacting in the forward and the reverse direction. Your overall number of moles of A and B from the 5-minute point on remain constant. You should now be able to answer questions 11, 12, and 13 on this page. Our final thing that we're going to do is we're going to graph what you had. We're going to have moles of A and moles of B. So you might want to draw A as circles and B as X's. And I'll just do the first one for you. If, again, you look at your data table that you just completed, you'll see that you started with 10 moles of A. So if I do A as a circle, at time 0 you had 10 moles of A, and you had 0 moles of B. After 2 minutes, we had 2.8 moles of A. So that's the littlest in 3. And we had 7.2 moles of B. So that's way up here. So you're going to continue your 2 lines, and then you're going to do a best fit curve. So you'll connect the X's as your best you can in a curve, and you'll connect the circles as best you can in a curve.